Yeah, so we're going to continue with the word of the Most High. But you see, Solomon, he went after these other strange women. That's what the Bible calls them, of the other nations. Which the Most High told us not to go after these strange women, these other women of these other nations, because they would turn your mind away from following him, because all the gods of the nations are idols. And that's what he did. He made idol temples. So, because a lot of women, they think that Solomon was wrong in having. Well, let's read on, so I can just let you hear what he had. It says, verse 3, and he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. His wives turned away his mind. So now he already told you in verse 1 and 2 about who turned his heart away from following the Most High. That's why it started out with all these other nations that the Most High said we weren't supposed to be going into, to have children by them, or even having sex with them, or even dealing with them, period. Let's go to the law. The Most High visited King Solomon twice on this matter. Go to Deuteronomy 7 and 3. Deuteronomy 7 and 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son, for they will turn away thy son from following me. See? That they may serve other gods, which are idols. So will the anger of the Most High be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. See? That's what he said. Concerning interracial marriages. Now, this is what happened. This is what this chapter of 1 Kings 11 is talking about. He had 700 wives and 300 concubines. And it started out with these wives of these other nations that turned his mind away from following the Most High. So with 1,000 women, you think he can't give an explanation of women? Concerning women, he got 700 lives, 700 spirits to deal with, and 300 more. That's 1,000. You think he couldn't tell how a woman think? I mean, that's why he could say what he said. It's very important that you see this. I mean, who better to know than King Solomon? He had 1,000 women. You think he can't talk about? Most High gave him wisdom on everything. He came to him twice and said, man, leave them other women alone. These other nations. But no, he couldn't. He, like I said, he fell in love with them. We just read it. He loved them. And they turned his mind away from following the Most High. That's why the kingdom was split. Because of what he did, what we just read about. He didn't do it under King Solomon, he did it under his son, Rehoboam. Because the Israelite woman, knowing the truth, she could be in order. But these other nations, hey, I mean, if that was the case, we'd be talking about the Israelite woman brought him to, this Israelite woman brought him to this place and say, make a temple to my God, or this God, or this, that, and the third, even though we did follow other gods, but it wasn't the Israelite women that was off, it was these other nations. Look. Go back to 1 Kings 11, verse 3. And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. For it came to pass when Solomon was old, that his wives turned away his heart after their gods. And his heart was not perfect with the Most High, his power, as was his heart, the heart of David, his father. See, his mind, the heart is his mind. His mind turned away from the Most High, his power, as was David. David is his father. King David was his father. Most High said David was a man after mine own heart, after his own mind, which shall fulfill all his ways. For Solomon went after, listen, just to prove what I'm saying. For Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Sidonians. That's not Israelites, that's so-called African. And after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites, Japanese, their abominable gods, idols. Solomon did evil in the sight of the Most High and went not fully after the Most High, as did David his father. Then this Solomon built an high place for Shamash, the abomination of Moab, the Chinese, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon, the abomination of the children of the Japanese. You know Israelite women. These are all strange women. Women of different races. See, the Most High gave every man this woman. Hey, procreate. He didn't want us to be interracially mixing with all these other nations. That's why he just said. And likewise did he for all his strange wives. Hear that? Likewise did he for all his strange wives. This is the problem. Which burnt incense and sacrifice unto their gods. Most High was angry with Solomon because his heart was turned from the Most High power of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice. See, as I told you, he appeared to him twice, and had commanded him concerning this thing, that he should not go after other gods. But he kept not that which the Most High commanded. Wherefore the Most High said unto Solomon, for as much as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my covenant and my statute, which I have commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from thee, and will give it to thy servant. He gave it to his son. That's what I said. But it was because of these other nations that he got with, not the Israelite women. That's why the Most High said kings were not supposed to multiply wives because of what King Solomon did. These other nations come in and would have them to follow their gods as King Solomon did in his old age. And the kingdom was rent in half, where you had the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. It was just one kingdom of Israel. 9.5 tribes. You had 3 tribes that the Most High allowed. The Levites were amongst all tribes. They were the priests. So I left Benjamin with Judah. So yeah, he can say and give understanding of women, I believe. Having 1,000? Oh yeah. So let's look at Jeremiah 17 and 9. Jeremiah 17 and 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? If you were to say the heart is your mind, you want to prove that with Mark 7:21. Go to Mark 7:21, just to prove the heart is talking about your mind. Because your heart, as in your body, it just pumps blood throughout your body to different parts of your body. But the heart, this heart is talking about your mind. It's desperately wicked. Mark 7:21. For from within, out of the heart of men, proceed evil thoughts. See? Evil thoughts. So that's your brain, your mind, your thinking ability. So just proving that the heart represents the way you think, your mind. Going back to Jeremiah 17 and 9. The heart is the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Say, I, the Most High, search the heart. He searched the minds. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways, and according to the fruit of his doings. So we say, hey, like I said, the way you think, the way you speak, the way you act. The Most High is looking at everything. His eyes 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and beholding all the secret things too. So the Most High said he knows the heart. Who can know it? The Most High know it. He know what you're thinking. That's why your thoughts can be abomination. Go to in the part of Ecclesiastes 25. We're going to look at verse 13. Ecclesiastes 25 and 13. Ecclesiastes 25 and 13. Give me any plague but the plague of the heart. See? You're talking about the heart, the mind. Give me any plague but the plague of the mind. Remember to tell you in Ecclesiastes 3:24, many are deceived by their own vain opinion. Where your opinions come from? Your mind. And an evil suspicion has overthrown their judgment. So evil comes in and makes you have the wrong judgment in the way you think, your actions, the reaction that you have behind your evil thinking and your evil speaking. It says, Ecclesiastes 25 and 13, give me any plague but the plague of the heart, but of mind, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. Woo. It said, give me any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. And any affliction but the affliction from them that hate me, and any revenge but the revenge of enemies. There is no head above the head of a serpent, and there is no wrath above the wrath of an enemy. I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon, than to keep house with a wicked woman. Wow. He said, I'd rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman, than to be in a house with a wicked woman. The wickedness of a woman changes her face, and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth. See, that wicked woman gonna change her face, and darken her countenance like sackcloth. Her husband shall sit among his neighbors, and when he heareth it, shall sigh bitterly. Man, when they start talking about it, he gonna be like, man, wow. I can't say nothing. He can't say nothing. You're gonna be sit there bitter, man. This woman. See, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. You know, they talk about that woman scorn. You heard that saying before? Say all wickedness, no matter what wickedness, is but little. It's little to the wickedness of a woman. Woo. You think he can't tell you? With 1,000 women? Oh yeah, he know about women. King Solomon said all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. Woo. That means, hey, let her be put to death. As the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged, you know, an old person trying to climb up a sandy hill, they can barely do it. So is a wife full of words to a quiet man. So is a wife full of words to a quiet man. Always running her mouth. He's just quiet, just chilling. And Jacob came out chilling. Dwelling in tents, just chilling. But it says, hey, as the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged, he probably can't do it. Trying to get up a hill, sandy hills. Trying to get up that hill, that's nothing. So is a wife full of words to a quiet man. So is a wife full of words running her mouth to a man that's quiet. Give you an analysis. Say, stumble not at the beauty of a woman. Don't stumble at the beauty of a woman, because she fine as ever. And desire her not for pleasure. Don't desire her to have sex with her, because she look good. That's what it's saying. A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impotence, and much reproach. A woman trying to tell a man what to do. Remember I told you, a woman should not usurp authority over the man. She trying to maintain her husband is full of anger, impotence, and much reproach, disgrace. A wicked woman abateth the courage. She gonna abate the courage of a man. Maketh an heavy countenance and a wounded heart, a wounded mind. You know, always down. Always feeling down. Never feel up. Because it's a wicked woman. Abated the courage. Maketh an heavy countenance and a wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress, maketh weak hands and feeble knees. You know? You can't. A woman's supposed to be there. Remember, we read where he made the woman to be a helpmate. That be there to help the man. But this world say it's the opposite way. The man made to help the woman. Because they contrary to the laws of the Most High. I mean, that's to tell you to love. You got to love your wives, to do what you can do, please them. At the same time, that woman have a duty that she got to do concerning the man. That's what it says. That's why I say, the woman came to the beginning of sin. The woman came to the beginning of sin. Who's that talking about? Eve. When she listened to the serpent telling her what? Can you eat of every tree of the garden? Oh yeah, we can eat of every tree of the garden, but the Most High said we can't eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, else we're going to die. You're going to die. You won't surely die. And she believed that crap. That's why we die. That's why I say, of the woman came the beginning of sin. And through her, we all died. Through what she did, we all died. But she brought the Adam down and said, hey, that woman you gave me, she beguiled me. She fooled me. But the Most High told Adam, because you listened to her, curses the ground for your sake. See, that's the whole thing you got to look at. That don't mean you don't set your woman down, but you listen to what they have to say. They have wisdom too. But you got to make the right decision according to thus say the Most High, according to this word. See, Adam didn't. He should have told, hey, get out of here. You know, Most High killed her, then gave him another woman. Is she gonna eat of the tree of life? I mean, she didn't eat of the tree of life. She ate of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Where they had the tree of life to live forever. They're supposed to live forever. That's why right now we're in this vulnerable, no life, deadness, darkness world. And we bringing the light to this darkness, and people can't see it because they think we all the same. Everybody ain't the same. Everybody not the same. Most I have those that he's bringing on this earth to open up the eyes of his children of Israel. Come out of darkness. You want to remain in darkness, the gross darkness, gross ignorance, then you remain in gross ignorance. Like come outside the side, it's going to be wailing and gnashing of teeth. When you throw your butt in a lake of fire, or you be thrown in hell, or you suffer before you even get up out of here. Want to die and can't die. You say death is better than certain things that you have to deal with in this earth, in this hell that we in now. What I say? Oh, the woman came the beginning of death, of sin. And it was that death. Because he said, when you eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, you shall surely die. That's when we start dying. So in other words, if you didn't eat of it, you'd have lived. How long? Forever. You can eat of the tree of life. Somebody puts flaming swords around everlasting life. But this planet is ready for us now. It's prepared. Masha Shai said, I'm going to prepare a place for you. It's prepared. It says, the woman came the beginning of sin, to what Eve did, and through her we all died. It said, give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. Don't let a wicked woman go do whatever she want to do, whatever she want to do. Give her no water, no passage. Let her float this way and float. Now she's going to float just the way you want her to float. Listen. If she go not as thou wouldest have her, if she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh and give her a bill of divorce and let her go. That's what it says. She don't want to go as you want her to go. In righteousness, only in righteousness. Cut her off from thy flesh and give her a bill of divorce and let her go. See? It's letting us know the right way, but you gotta understand too, you can't just let your woman go for anything. That's why I said a wicked woman. She's doing things that's contrary to the laws of the Most High, breaking the Most High's laws over and over and over again. Yeah, you better beware. That's why you gotta make sure that you're in tune with what it is you need to be tuned in with, and that's these laws, such commandments of the Most High, and how to have a true faith in the Mashiach Yahushua. Look at Ecclesiastes 26 and 7. An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. He didn't have hold of her is as though he held a scorpion, like he held a scorpion. You know that scorpion, you shaking it, that tail, bing, hit you, poisonous. Bing, you dead. That's why I say, an evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. He didn't have hold of her is as though he held a scorpion. A drunken woman in the gather abroad causes great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. A woman that's a drunk ain't about nothing. You know what they say about a drunk? The drunk ain't. A drunken woman in the gather abroad, see, drunk going everywhere, causes great anger. Causes great anger. That's why I say, you don't drink in moderation. Excess of drinking brings about, quarreling, arguing, and fighting, and all of that. And anger. And she will not cover her own shame. She won't cover her own shame. Look, the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. The whoredom of a woman, you can tell her why she gonna look. She have a certain look. She move them eyes and wink at you, and bring them eyelids. Now they got the broom eyelids, because they got the false eyelashes come out like this, and be. But hey, that's our women. They want to be what they are, something that they're not. Just be who you are. I said, a whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. Come on. What's on your eyelids? Eyelashes. Say, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. Say, if she be shameless, hey, keep her in straitness. She wild, she want to be doing everything that the world do, say, keep her in straitly. Teach her but what she's supposed to be doing as righteous in the eyes of the Most High, His laws, statutes, commandments. Lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. You give her much liberty, and she abuse herself. You look around, everything is available to her, because everything is available to these children now. What do you think they're going to do? Be overtaken by the world. And it's out there to deal with you, to make sure you go to hell with them. You in hell, they're going to make sure that you show signs of being in hell by doing abominable things that's against the Most High's laws. Well, somebody got to stand up for the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua. And that's why I say, if she's shameless, hey, you better keep her in and teach her right. Or you give her much liberty, she'll go out there and be wild and wicked just like the world is. Or whatever it is that they offer. Watch over an impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass against thee. See? Watch over an impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass against thee. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he have found a fountain, and drink of every water near her. That's you know what that's about. She'll open her mouth and drink of every water near her. Woo. By every hedge will she sit down, and open her quiver against every arrow. The arrow, come on, he ain't just giving it to you outright, but the arrow is straight, right? Right? Her quiver is what? Her vagina. So her mouth and her vagina in that one scripture. The grace of a wife, the light of her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Most High. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Most High. And there is nothing as much worth as a mind well instructed. There's nothing more powerful than a mind well instructed. But you can't teach a woman nothing, then hey, That's not something that you be proud of or be happy to have. Something that you be sad to have. So it's contrary to what it is, how we should be. It's bad. It's terrible. But this is what you're looking at when you're looking at how this world has set up women's led and a woman is equal to a man. It's not what it says in the Bible. Look, 2 Timothy 3:16. All scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. And what's the righteousness? Keeping the laws of the Most High, keeping the statutes of the Most High, keeping the commandments of the Most High. That the man of the Most High may be perfect. You hear that? That the man of the Most High may be perfect. People talking about you can't be perfect. Nobody's perfect. That the man of the Most High may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. And we know the Most High is good and the law is good. So don't think that nobody can be perfect. Just go to Job 1:1. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright. So don't say that man can't be perfect. Man can be perfect. And Job still had an issue of, once the Most High dealt with him and allowed Satan to go and vex him, make him poor and vex his body with boils from his head to his toe. He had a problem thinking that he was too righteous for this to be happening to him. So he had to be checked. He's self-righteous. Can't be that way. Most High said it pleased him to bruise his only begotten son. So ain't nobody, none of us, exempt from the punishment or the judgment of the Most High. And he could have done that just for an example for us. Most things are for our examples and our admonition. To look at, hey, don't be this way. Understand the Most High could deal with any of us. Nobody exempt from the judgment of the Most High. When he visits you, that's what I said, what you gonna do when he visits you? You better be ready. And look at the examples that we have to go by so that you can actually apply and do the same thing as our forefathers did. With his wife, Satan said, hey, I'll have Job curse you to your face. What his wife tell Job? Curse the Most High and die. Just what Satan said. So who's in her? And he still had to deal with that. Just to let you know how the Most High feel about coming together and being together, man and woman, as husband and wife. He still had to deal with her. And he get rid of her. And she said that. Curse the Most High and die. Just what Satan said, that's what his wife told him. At a time when he was in bad shape. Boils all on his head. Boils all on his body, from his head to his toe. Is that love? I don't think so. But that's what she said. Look at what it says in verse 14 again of Ecclesiastes 26 chapter. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Most High, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. See, ain't nothing more worth. That's why it tells you that the scriptures are from the inspiration of the Most High, and they are there for instruction. That's why I tell you, we just read it. You can read it again in Proverbs 1:7. This is how you know a fool. Proverbs 1:7. And see, that's why when it comes down to dealing with the truth, you gotta let your ego go. You gotta let all that pride go. Proverbs 1 and 7. The fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and what? Instruction. So you can't instruct the woman, then she's a fool. Because a fools despise wisdom and instruction. It ain't. A lot of times it's not you that they really hate, it's the Most High. They're the Mashiach Yahushua that they do not like. See, they have a problem with them, ain't you? But see, they don't think it, they just, and that's like people look at man as not even representing the Most High. Especially when the book is closed, shoot. And sometimes when the book is open. It's like you have no representation of the Most High. You don't represent him. That's why we have to really be on it. So that the Mashiach Yahushua can guide us in these last days. And it's a balance. That's why you have to when you understand scriptures, you have to know, okay, well, you can't really hold on to things that, especially correction, you just keep it moving. Take the correction, learn from it, and keep it moving to be better. That's what it's about, making each other better. You know, so you see, when you look at people, they have evil intent in their minds, in their spirits, while they do not control themselves as the word says. And even though you hear it, don't mean that you're going to accept it, because a lot of people cancel out scriptures and say, that don't pertain to me. And they do be talking directly to you, to all of us. It's singling out one person. No, it's speaking to all of us, that we can learn of the Most High's ways, what pleases him. So you mean the man that wrote the Bible didn't have the spirit of the Most High? Is that what you're trying to say? So I didn't write it. You know, I know that every time I go through women's scriptures, people flip out. Especially women, they flip out. Why? Because they got the devil in them. I ain't write this. Don't say, preach thou one, chapter 23, verse 19. You heard me say none of that. But they still have an attitude about what it is that these scriptures are saying. You go over for yourself. Take it up with the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua. Look at 1 Peter 3 and 9. It says, not rendering evil for evil or railing for railing. You know what that means? And especially, remember, many are deceived by their own vain opinion and evil suspicion overthrowing their judgment. The way you think is evil. What we thought and read that earlier, and you thinking you're right. You done thought, oh, I'm right. I know I'm right. Everybody else is wrong. How many times have I seen that too? It says, not rendering evil for evil. Even if somebody you know did something evil to you, say don't, they're Israelites, they don't do evil for evil. Or railing for railing, going back and forth, arguing, back and forth, back and forth. But contrary, blessing, knowing that ye are thereunto called, knowing that ye are thereunto called, that ye should inherit a blessing, that you should inherit a blessing. So if you do opposite, you're going to receive curses. You're going to receive the wrath and the anger of the Most High. Look, for he that will love life, you want to love life in hell? We're still in the condition of hell. He's in the condition of hell too. Peter, as he's saying this, Because whose kingdom was he in? The Roman. See, the Bible stopped in 65 AD. Pretty much almost finished by the time Peter was saying what he's saying, John said what he's saying, finished, done. Pretty much. By the time you get to Judas, finished. 65 AD, finished. 65 to 70 AD, we fighting with the Romans, at war with the Romans. Fulfilling the prophecies, 70 AD we fell. Look, for he that will love life and see good days, verse 10, let him refrain his tongue from evil, and his lips that they speak no guile, no lies and stuff. Let him eschew evil, hate evil, and do good. Keep the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. That's good. Romans 7 and 12. Let him seek peace. This peace that Mashiach Yahushua said he will give you, not like the world give you. Let him seek peace and ensue it. For the eyes of the Most High are over the righteous. Hear that? The Most High's eyes are over the righteous, those that's keeping his commandments, that's following his laws, statutes, commandments. And his ears are open unto their prayers. Hear that? His ears are open to the righteous prayers. But the face of the Most High is against them that do evil. So you want to be wicked? The Most High's face against those that do evil. Let's see. Look at 1 Peter 4. And verse 2. 1 Peter 4 and 2. That he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of the Most High. Don't be looking at the lust in the flesh, but the will of the Most High is to do his commandments, do work for the Most High. Teach our people that they are the children of Israel, 12 tribes of Israel. And having faith in the Mashiach Yahushua and fearing the Most High. That's really important because our people do not know anything about fearing the Most High. Being afraid, being scared of the Most High. Sincerely. They don't understand that. They got this the mindset that the Most High is love. And only love. He is love. But you hear, we done read today, all this anger and wrath. What you think that is? Love? And he love to bring that wrath on you. He love to bring that anger on you when you evil and you doing things that's contrary to his word. Remember, we say he hate all abomination, all filthy wicked acts, all sins, and the sinner, the one that's doing it. Because who won't get your judgment? Oh, you sin, there's no judgment behind you doing whatever you're doing? No. Pay now, pay later, but you go pay. Listen. 1 Peter 4 and 2, that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of the Most High. The will of the Most High is to believe in the Mashiach Yahushua, his only begotten Son. Going to the Most High on our behalf. How you got mercy and grace, and you don't even believe in the Most High through a Mashiach Yahushua in the name of the Lord and Savior. Going to the Most High, say, no man come to the Father but by me. So how's is that you following the Most High's law, such commandments of Mashiach Yahushua for those that don't believe we under the law? What did he do? Did he sin? Did he break the laws of the Most High? Did he break the commandments of the Most High, the statutes of the Most High? No. He's an example. It shows that it can be done. Because he came in the flesh just like everybody else. He was tempted just like everyone else. You don't think they was after him? Multitudes of people. You think the women wasn't after him? Wicked women wasn't after him? And he healing everybody, seeing all this power he got. Are you serious? Come on. You see how they after these pork chop eating preachers and the ones that have little or no power at all. They got some kind of stardom here in hell. He had to deal with all of that. So a lot of people don't even think about that. Or he's a Mashiach. He said he was tempted just like every other man. Yet he sinned not. Verse 3. 1 Peter 4 and 3. For the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles, when we walk in lasciviousness, inordinate sexual acts, lust, design everything, doing every kind of madness, excess of wine, drinking a lot, reveling, arguing, fighting, banqueting, going to parties and so forth, and abominable idolatries. You hear that? Abominable idolatries. Remember, the Most High hate all abomination. So you was hated at that time. But the Most High winked at your ignorance and require every man to repent, ask for forgiveness for being ignorant, for being not knowing, and doing the wrong things that we all did. And some still do it, you know. Wherein they think it's strange that you run not with them to the same excess of vice. So people that, you know, once you come into truth, they look at you, wow, man, it's strange, man. You used to do this and you used to be like this and being like that. Now you changed. Wherein they think it's strange that ye run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. They start talking about you. People got this to say and that to say, they don't even talk to you but no more. But they got this to say in evil. Report against you. Who shall give account to him that is ready to judge the quick and the dead. They don't give account to a Mashiach Yahushua, who's going to judge the quick and the dead. Everybody. So I say, hey, death and hell got to give up those that's in it to be judged. For this cause was the gospel preached also to them that are dead, that they might be judged according to men in the flesh, but live according to the Most High in the Spirit. See, that's what I just said. But the end of all things is at hand. Be therefore sober, focused, not being no drunkard. Be focused and watch unto prayer. And above all things, have fervent charity, have fervent love among yourselves, among the brotherhood. For charity shall cover the multitude of sins. See? Charity, love is going to cover a multitude of sins. Look at Ecclesiasticus, the 26th chapter. And the Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus, the 26th chapter. And let's look at verse 9. Ecclesiastes 26 and 9. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. A drunken woman and a gatherer abroad causes great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. So, like I say, we went over this before. Whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks, her prideful looks. So it's giving you instructions how a woman's supposed to be shamefaced, not putting on expensive garments and so forth, and wearing herself to be seen, get too much attention, especially if she a husband. She's not supposed to be doing that. Everything's supposed to be for her, with her husband. But this world have it all the way contrary to the way it really should be. You operating in sin and then have an attitude about somebody correcting you about being in sin. Listen. jump down to verse 15. It says, shamefaced and faithful woman. Shamefaced meaning that means she has humility. And faithful woman, she faithful to her man. There's a double grace. And her continent mind cannot be valued. You hear that? A shamefaced, humble, and faithful woman is a double grace. That's a double grace. She faithful to her man. Ain't no other man gonna talk to her. He gonna be able to get into her. I mean, what is it that he gonna do anyway? I mean, really, it's nothing but just a lady. As you know, you got problems. But that's the world that we in. You know, let me see what you like. Okay, that's, you know, you got what they got. They STD, venereal disease, or whatever they have. But they take it back to they woman, some other woman. That's all this stuff is going around, man. Everybody's sleeping around order, causing all these, you know, problems within our race. Say, as the sun, when it arises in the high heaven, so is the beauty of a good wife in the ordering of her house. See that? That's what one supposed to be doing, ordering her house right, keeping her house in order. That's a good wife in the ordering of her house. Look what it says in verse 19. It says, my son, keep the flower of thine age sound, and give not thy strength to strangers. Remember Solomon married strange wives. Most I said, give not thy strength to strangers, to these other nations, women. Listen, when thou hast gotten a fruitful possession, you got a woman that can have a lot of children through all the field is the world, through all the world. Sow it with thine own seed. It would say, sow it with thine own seed. Sow it with your own seed, your own lineage. Trusting in the goodness of thy stock. See? Trusting the goodness of your stock, who you are. So thy race, so race is in the Bible, so thy race, which thou leavest, let you know that's, hey, our baby's going to be created through sexual intercourse. So I said, sow it, meaning put your seed in this fruitful possession that you have, this woman that can produce children. So